Hello, I am here for your final dose of Umineko restoration streams. Not your final dose of Umineko forever. We still got more to do of that. How's it going, guys? Hello and good night, Mage. You are no longer here. You will never hear me say this, but hello. Hello, Bug. Hello, Crow. Hello, Mr. Taco. How's it going? So I'm just gonna get right to it, cause it's restoration. I don't like to drag the intro for these. You're still here. You should go to bed. Thank you for the compliment, but you need to sleep. Croax also needs to sleep, by the way. Okay. So, Croax, you should be very scared right now. Very, very scared. Because after I'm done with this, there's bots for every single part of Umineko up until 7. No more excuses. By next Saturday, you should be completely caught up. And if you don't, you're going to hell. That's just how it works. I won't be mad at you. You will simply go to hell. I don't make the rules. Okay, here we go. The wind is here. Yeah, the wind is part of the is from the game itself. So as soon as I move to a different menu, the wind stops. The wind is not a separate asset on the stream. It is from the game. I am repurposing the wind from the game as a way to make a starting soon stream without actually having to put music. Okay, here we are. The final duel with Eva. Are you ready? Understood. On the second twilight, Rosa and Maria were killed in the Rose Garden. We begin by applying the Eva culprit theory for that case. Huh? Ridiculous. Come, arise, try to remember. What form did Uchinomiya Hideyoshi have? What? What's this supposed to be? It's the summoning of the dead. A witch can easily bring even the dead up to stand for testimony. On the opposing side, a transparent Uncle Hideyoshi was summoned. Talk about convenience. He looked as though he couldn't see what was going on here, almost like a person on the other side of the TV. Witness summoned. Uchinomiya Hideyoshi's testimony. Come, Hideyoshi, speak. I was taking care of Eva in our room the whole time. Of course, Eva didn't leave the room. Aunt Eva. Around here, testimony that isn't read isn't worth crap. I demand that he repeats it again in red. Oh yeah, that's right. Sure, say it in red. I was in the room the whole time, for the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime. See, look, this makes it impossible for Eva to be the culprit, right? How will you counter this? Ridiculous. That move's so lame I could yawn. You have to never use such childish tricks, not even once. Battler. That's not true, Battler. You just didn't notice because you were too stupid. Repeat it. Aunt Eva was also in the room for the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime. Uncle Hideyoshi was just there to create an alibi. You made him stay in the room and stealthily snuck out. If that isn't true, this guy should be able to say it in red. I refuse to repeat it. Hideyoshi's evidence is sufficient. There's no need for me to repeat that, right? She has refused. You need show no mercy. This is a check. Yeah, I'll take it. This opponent's slow. Check. Maybe Uncle Hideyoshi didn't leave the room the whole time, but saying he was taking care of you the whole time is a bright red lie. Therefore, no alibi exists for you. You had a chance to slip out of the room and kill Aunt Rosa and Maria. If you think you can dodge that, try proclaiming in red that Aunt Eva didn't take a step outside of the room. You can't, right? Checkmate. What the hell? I don't get it. Sorry, Aunt Eva. Even if you aren't used to the rules, beating your opponent down with all your strength is how this game is played. Right, Beato? Indeed. I'll resend every chat message from the original. Wow, you remember? The witch side resides. Let us continue on to the next game. Next is the 4th through 6th Twilights. It seemed that the witch still didn't understand how to make a winning move, and she lost her composure in irritation. She was probably also angry that a shot had been taken at her while she still didn't get what was going on. However, I won't go easy on her at all. Just like she did go easy on the victims at all. She didn't go easy on the victims at all. I won't go easy on her. I remember too, actually. Virgilia, next crime. Let's reconstruct the case with Dad and the rest. Understood. 3 people, Rudolph, Kirie, and Hideyoshi went to the mansion and were killed there. My move won't change. Aunt Eva, you are the culprit. This time, you don't even have an alibi from Uncle Hideyoshi. You claim that you were sleeping in the room all by yourself. That's not true. If you can proclaim it in red, just try it. I refuse. So tell me, Eva is just a woman, and the people who died were 3 adults with 2 guns, right? How did she kill them all by herself? How did she do it with those stakes as weapons? Like everyone keeps asking, how's this stake shooting device constructed? Explain that. Unless you can explain it, even if Eva doesn't have an alibi, that doesn't mean that it was possible for her to commit the murders. I refuse to explain. It's a devil's proof. Just because I can't explain it doesn't deny the existence of an unknown murder technique, or maybe an unknown weapon. In short, even if I can't explain how the stake shooting device is constructed, that doesn't prove that it doesn't exist. What the hell? Does that ridiculousness even count? Your devil's proof is valid. Agreed. It is a valid devil's proof. Valoricum can claim that a stake shooting device exists without bearing the responsibility of explaining how it is constructed. The witch side cannot object to this move. Not bad. How pushy. Well, there's this ill-natured witch who trained me well. This is check, okay? Try saying red that Aunt Eva didn't take a step out of that room. That's right. You shouldn't be able to say it. If you can't say it, it's over. Checkmate. That's so irrational. This is messed up. Those are the rules of this game. How about some black tea first? And some delicious cookies as well. I don't need all that. That pisses me off. So you fight like a coward just because you can't win with magic? Don't get me irritated. Drink some black tea or something. I'll take mine straight. What about you, Beato? I'm fine. More importantly, Battler, don't let your guard down. Your opponent is only unfamiliar with the rules. This will only really start once your opponent gets the gist of it. But I'll crush her. I'll thoroughly crush her. because she isn't a witch. If I accept her as a witch, all your stubbornness will account for nothing. I don't care what kind of irrational argument or twisted logic I have to use. I'll crush her with all my heart and soul. Battler sighed and stuck with the Eva culprit theory to explain Kraus and Natsuhi. The 7th and 8th Twilights in the exact same way. At the time, there had been no one on the first floor except for Eva and the victims. As before, no one could establish an alibi for Eva. Back then, Eva had claimed that they disappeared while she went to the bathroom. But there was nothing to support that, and the witch side couldn't repeat it in red either. Using the same style of argument as that question regarding the stake shooting machine. The witch side asked once more how Eva could have strangled both of them at the same time, all by herself. But of course, Battler splendidly counterattacked by refusing to explain because of the devil's screw. Under the storm of stress of Battler's spirit, the witch side was completely swallowed up. Having to resign 3 times during the short period of time she had to grasp the rules. I see. I'm finally starting to get the knack of it. I won't let you have things your own way anymore. This time, let me take the initiative. No. Reconstruct the 4th through the 6th Twilights. Pick out Ushinomiya Kirie. For now, let me return to the murders of Rudolph, Kirie, and Hideyoshi during the 4th through 6th Twilights. What is she thinking? Why would she return once more to a situation where she's lost? See, this is an unusual attack, and one you do not use. Be careful. At the time, the survivors were barricaded in the guest house. They didn't have food, but out of concern for their safety, they were at least prepared to go without eating until the next day. However, in the end, 3 of them went out for food. That's right. In the end, 3 people went outside to get food. It's a pain, so I'll add in some red and say it. Idiot didn't think that they needed food. Since going without food for about a day wouldn't kill them, she claimed that they should not have leave the guest house, and yet she herself suggested that they leave the guest house to get food. Isn't that a contradiction? Yes, a spectacular contradiction. A contradiction exists in Kirie's pattern of behavior. That contradiction was created by me, with magic. In other words, I controlled Kirie using magic and made her say that to lure the sacrifice outside. Ridiculous! There's no way that kind of magic exists. It's the devil's proof, right? Just because you don't know about the magic doesn't deny its existence. And I don't bear the responsibility of factoring out that magic for you. And yet, you have even less room to counter this argument. I wonder if it's okay to fight this way. Yes, it is a truly spectacular move. Battler-sama, your response, if you please. What a weird strategy she's taking. Though, just what is this? Oh yeah. She has placed a piece attacking Ushinomiya Kirie's pattern of behavior. As has already been explained, Kirie's pattern of behavior had her saying that they should not go outside or head to the mansion in order to get food. And yet, she herself took the initiative, taking the contradictory action of going out to get food. Unless you can explain this contradiction, she will use this violent move to claim that magic was the cause. Well, that's probably what Kirie-san thought in the beginning. But she probably thought through a few things midway, and changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary. It'd be bad if, when things got through, we were so hungry that we had no energy and, well, she is claiming that this change of heart was due to magic. In short, while it might be extremely difficult, you must explain the reason for Kiria's change of heart. What are you saying? You're talking about the inside of Kirie-san's head, right? Can I also summon Kirie-san's ghost and question her? Beato, can't you call Kirie-san here or something? She cannot. That is a move permitted only to the witch side. Sorry. Fuck. I think I already screen capped this one, but I really like this image. It's a really fucking good one. She was probably thinking of us kids, and on the whole thought that food was necessary, and you must present your claim through objective means. You'll need concrete proof that Kiria changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary for some specific reason. For example, if someone heard her say that, or if it was written down somewhere. Too bad. The reason she changed her mind was not passed on to anyone, nor was it written down. Therefore, you can only speculate onto what was inside Kiria's mind. So it's impossible to explain. You don't have a single counter to my move. Isn't it your turn to recite now, Battler-kun? It is possible to hypothesize endlessly as to the reason behind her change of hearts, and it is impossible to crush all of those endless possibilities. A detestably spectacular move. If Battler-sama were to have a method of countering, it could probably only be that move. What move is that? Well, I wonder what kind of move. I had the feeling there was Milady's special, but I cannot remember. But being stingy and tell me. Ratorich, no answers will be given to those who stop thinking for themselves. Think. Think in your own way. Why don't you resign right now? And I'll corner you even more with Red. Until the last instant before she died, Kiria's behavior pattern of not going to get food equals not going to the mansion was maintained. And yet, she took the initiative and headed towards the mansion. She was pushing a cart, ready to carry food. She was serving carts. Why that contradiction? Because I controlled her with magic. This is proof that my magic exists and that I am a witch. Shut the hell up! Are you saying that she never even changed her mind? That the whole time until she died, Kirie-san thought, we don't need food and we won't go to the mansion? Why did she step forward herself and say that she should go to get food and go to the mansion? Are you saying that Kirie-san was being controlled with magic? That's stupid. How should I break through this magic? Shut up! Only Kiria were here and just told us the reason behind her change of heart. No, I've already been told and read that she never even changed her mind. What should I do? There's no move that the human side could counter with. The more I learn about this game, the more advantageous the rules seem for the witch, right? Even if I lose in a lot of areas, if I can win in just one, that alone can display the existence of a witch. In other words, Battler-kun has no way of denying witches other than a complete victory. How truly funny that even though you thought you could corner me and call me Eva, it's all been spun around by nothing more than the inside of your respected Kirie-san's head, right? Just do it. Resign. If only you just accepted. If only you just lose. Damn it! Impossible for a human to prove. Can't do anything but guess at what the dead were thinking when they acted. Furthermore, I can't deny the magic based on conjecture alone. To break through it, I need objective proof as to why Kiria-san had a change of heart. Damn it. Been said in red that no proof exists as to why she changed her mind and wanted food. What should I do? Damn it. Damn it! Peddlers, is this your resignation? To get food equals not going to the mansion. Then how should I understand Kiria-san's thoughts, which actually do contradict each other? You can't understand. It's impossible to understand and impossible to interpret. That is all of the witch. Come on, it's useless to think, so quit, okay? Just can't deny witches after all. Exists right here. I am the Golden Witch. I stole that name from the former witch over there. You can't deny that I am Bertorici. Damn it! You have no right to use that name. Yet, can't think of a move to deny it. Father could no longer counter this witch. Was laughing insanely in triumph. He didn't want to give up, but no move appeared. He ground his teeth, making fists with both hands. But even so, he couldn't think of a brilliant counterattack. 1 second. Let me blow my nose real quick. Farts have life, thank you. Thank you for the big farts. Bedders, your time limit is over. So, will you resign? The human side has no movement response. They will be resigned. Wait! There is a counter. What did you say? Huh? What kind of move could possibly exist, Predecessor-sama? Won't you tell me what kind of move could deny this magic of Bertorici's? You can't. It's impossible. If the proposition that not going to get food equals not going to the mansion cannot be explained by itself, I will explain it with the contrapositive. In short, you can also explain it with she still went to the mansion equals she had a goal other than food. This is less my specialty, Temple's Raiden, than it is Badler's specialty, chessboard thinking. If it was impossible for Kiria to have gone to the mansion with food as a goal, then we can only explain it by saying she had another reason that got her to go outside despite that. In other words, if we can prove that she had such a goal, we can defeat this magic. I see. So she didn't go to the mansion with food as a goal, but she had a different goal. And she said she wanted to go and get food in order to disguise her real goal. True enough. It might be possible to find an explanation that way. But how? Teacher, reconstruct the scene of Kiria's death. We cannot summon a ghost, but inspecting the corpse ought to be a right allowed to the human side. Yes, there is no problem. I shall reconstruct the scene where Ushinomiya Kiria died. We cannot call Kiria's ghost here, but by finding out what Kiria left behind, may be able to use that as a weapon. Fine, search as much as you want. There's no way you'll learn anything. You just said it in red a short while ago. Kiria did not leave anything written down. No matter what you find, how could you possibly figure anything out? We may find nothing, but Battler is grinding his teeth, fighting to think of a move to break through you. This is all I can do. Beatrice landed on her feet in the reconstructed hall, approaching Kiria's corpse and wandered around, observing. I am completely clueless when it comes to finding on the human side. We need to find evidence, right? Then what should I search for? The great Lady Beatrice is getting down on her knees and crawling around. Is she even indecently searching corpse? That looks suitsy. Say whatever you wish. I cannot do any more than this. I care not how I am despised. However, I cannot throw Battler away, and he is fighting for my honor. Even if I must crawl on the ground and search through dead flesh, I must answer to that responsibility. Bathed in the witch's sneers, Beato searched through Kiria's corpse. She fished through the pockets, taking what was inside out and laid it on the floor. Laid on the floor was a handkerchief, tissue, a key to her house, the stub of boat tickets, a lighter, a cigarette butt, and a single 100-yen coin. There was no special suspicious object. Although Beato was down on all fours and being sneered at, that was all she could find. What's with that seedy-looking trash? How do you think you can break my magic with that stuff? Worthless. Worthless, are you a moron? How can you be so lame and right after you cut in between us? Talking so tough. Ah, how pathetic. How embarrassing. If only you just give up and die. The witch fell over laughing, lambasting Beato. Beato hung her head, trying to withstand this shame. Milady, are you finished with your inspection? Indeed. I will not find any more than this. Can you make any counter from this evidence? If not, then the human side must resign. Obviously, you don't have any room to argue back. I am a witch. You cannot break through my magic. You're no longer anything but a former witch. A loser who isn't even allowed to take the name Beatrice anymore. Come on, pile up as much trash and rubbish as you like and just try to break my magic. You can't, right? You can't, can you? And why is that? It's because I'm a witch. It's because you're just a loser without a name. Something should be here. I won't lose heart. I will not lose heart. No matter how much I'm sneered at. Battler is fighting for my honor. So, for the sake of this honor, I must not lose heart. As Beato held back tears at the words of humiliation she was being showered with, she tried to find if Kiria was holding something else. to find something that could save Padler from his plight, searching earnestly. However, nothing more came up. Damn it. Please. Ushinomiya Kirie. You must save your son from his plight. Please. After death, lend me power for his sake. However, Kirie's body did not answer. It was only natural that a corpse would remain silent. No dead person existed that would answer Beato, who had lost the endless magic. It's pointless, pointless, pointless. Toying with the dead is a privilege only for witches. For you, who is neither a witch nor even a human, no one exists who will lend a hand. You'll be alone for all eternity. You have no witch or human allies, and no one will save you. If that's frustrating, why don't you cry? If only you just apologize saying, I'm sorry, I'm so useless. Sorry, Badler. Couldn't help you at all. No, that's enough. Thanks, Beato. I won't waste your efforts. I don't need consoling. Just how could you possibly argue back with this pile of rubbish? Just how could you possibly strike back with this rubbish I scraped together while she sneered at me? In front of Beato, who was still crawling on all fours and hitting the pile of objects Kitty had left behind with her fist. Badler also crouched. And, after patting her on the shoulder in thanks, he moved that hand to the ground, picked up the cigarette butt, and held it up over his head. What are you trying to say with that trash? Kirie's son doesn't smoke. Oh fuck. But Kirie also had a lighter on her. I think a lot of people actually called this one on the first time we did this. True, she didn't have an actual box of cigarettes, but at a glance, it naturally looked as though Kirie had a smoking habit. Dad smoked, but Kirie didn't. But she did walk around with just a lighter to light Dad's cigarettes. Huh. So what? If the husband smoked, then even if the wife didn't, it wouldn't be strange for her to be holding a cigarette. Maybe she just picked up the cigarette butt of her husband, who had a bad smoking manners? What are you trying to say? What does this have to do with my magic? Nothing at all. I'll say more. This is a different brand of cigarette than what Dad smokes. Sorry, Beato. Could you look in the pockets of Dad's corpse too? Indeed. You mean this? Check in the brands. The brand is different from the cigarette butts. Please, allow me to say more. No spoilers. No spoilers from me, I should say. The cigarette butt Kirie is holding is not of the same brand as that Rudolph smokes. And so what? Maybe Kirie is just a good girl who likes things to be clean. So she couldn't leave a fallen cigarette butt alone and picked it up. I wouldn't, though. Beato, sorry, but one more time, please. Uncle Hideyoshi's pockets. In this family, only Dad and Hideyoshi smoke cigarettes. It's here. Is this it? Beato found a cigarette box in Hideyoshi's pocket, took a single one out and held it up. So, Kraus does not smoke. Do you think he's just completely clean, or do you think he has some sort of smoking substitute? Does he chew tobacco? Does he use those weird... I don't even know what they're called. I keep forgetting. The nicotine things that you like put on your mouth. He uses Sins. Yeah, Sins. Check in the brands. We acknowledge that the cigarette butt is of the same brand that Hideyoshi smokes. By the way, this is not recycled commentary. This is new. I'm not repeating a joke I made the original time. And so what? How can you break my magic because you found Hideyoshi's cigarette butt in Kirya's pocket? That's right. The cigarette butt is a message from Kirya-san. No. The cigarette butt itself is the reason that Kirya-san left the guest house. Battle. Thank you. If you hadn't found this, I would have given up here. Virgilia. Reconstruct the situation. The guest house after it came to light that Aunt Rosa and Muddy had been killed on the second twilight. Understood. Reconstructing now. After Rosa and Maria's deaths, the remaining survivors rechecked all of the doors and windows in the mansion. They constructed a barricade. They reconfirmed that their defenses were solid. They do. I mean, some do, I don't know. Also, this is the 80s. The 80s was when smoking was super popular, you know? So maybe in this era it was normal. There's nothing suspicious about that at all. What are you trying to say? I think you're bringing up the second pilot when we're talking about the fourth pilot and after. I carried a portable cigarette butt holder with him. I'm finally starting to see why Kirie-san went out of her way to put a cigarette butt in her own pocket. It was because that cigarette butt meant something. That cigarette butt was itself a message left by Kirie-san for us. Then let's hear it. How do you plan to deny me with that single cigarette butt? As we've heard, after the second twilight, an inspection was done of all the rooms in the guest house. At that time, Kirie-san found something that shouldn't exist, in a place where it shouldn't be. Something that shouldn't exist? What do you mean by that? It's this. This cigarette butt. This was set in the ashtray of the guest room that Uncle Hideyoshi was in. What? What's wrong with there being a cigarette butt in the ashtray? Are you sure this isn't something... isn't something wrong with your head? Anteva hated smoking. There's no way there'd be a cigarette butt there while Anteva was sick and sleeping. However, there was a cigarette butt in the ashtray. When she saw that, Hide-san noticed immediately. Uncle Hideyoshi was lying. She realized that Anteva hadn't really been sleeping, and that she'd snuck out of the room. Repeat it. This cigarette butt was crushed out in the ashtray of the room where Anteva and Uncle Hideyoshi were resting. I refuse. Finally got it. Thank you, Bata. Was I of some use? Yeah, you wear it. Tear it. We'll tear the mask off of the fake witch. From that cigarette butt, Hide realized that Hideyoshi was creating an alibi for Eva's sake. Hideyoshi had been tasked with watching over the room to create an alibi. And during that time, he was unable to withstand the tension he smoked. Then, Hide had confessed that to Rudolph. She confessed that there was a good chance Eva was the culprit, and Hideyoshi was an accomplice. Next, Hide-san proposed that they go to get food. She then asked Uncle Hideyoshi to lend a hand. This could only mean one thing. Hide-san planned to isolate Uncle Hideyoshi and question him about the truth. Your Hempel's raven is valid. Unless the witch side counters this move, the existence of the magic that supposedly controlled Hide has been denied. What did you say? I deny it. Anyway, I deny it. It wasn't me, no! It wasn't Ushiromiya Eva. Eva was sleeping in her room. Then try saying it. Yeah, you can't say it. You can't say it this time either. Repeat it. At that time, Ushiromiya Eva did not take a step outside her room. What the hell is that? I'm the one who was attacking, right? Why am I the one being attacked now? And that offense and defense get reversed. I'm the one questioning you, right? The witch, me, so why? Again. Repeat it. Ushiromiya Eva did not leave the room. There's no way you can say it. It's checkmate. Does the witch side have a move in response? There cannot be. There is no truth that can be accepted from a false witch dressed up with truths and falsehoods. You aren't qualified to call yourself a real witch. You aren't the Golden Witch. You're a human. Ushiromiya Eva. Ah! The witch howled. Her entire body was burned with the tremendous heat that denied her own magic and existence. And she let out a howl, like a dragon. Like a dragon with infinite wealth. Like a dragon that went crazy when she found infinite wealth and decided to kill her own family. Her body flickered repeatedly, flashing as though Eva's figure and the witch's figure overlapped. She's dying. However, Ariel was sucked into the flicker, making it return to the original form of the cruel witch. Okay. Pretty good. I think we won, guys. It's over. Sure. If you want to call me Ushiromiya Eva, then go ahead and do that. That's right. I actually can't repulse all moves related to Ushiromiya Eva, being the culprit. I may have been dragged down from the position of Golden Witch. And you might call me Ushiromiya Eva now. But you know what? That by itself doesn't mean that witches and magic have been denied. I'll teach you starting now. I'll teach you that I am not Ushiromiya Eva, nor a human, but a real witch. Take a look at this read through. When the witch clapped her hands, time advanced in the world of the game board. Battler and Eva dashed to the front of the parlor, calling out Jessica's name. They were searching for Jessica because they had gone to the servant room, found Nanjo's corpse, and didn't know where Jessica was. So, what's your point? What are you trying to say? You couldn't be. Oh no. Beato went pale. In other words, the move the evil witch is about to make was bad enough to make even Beato go pale. This time, I'll give you a fatal move that you won't be able to talk yourself out of. No, I'll make this move against all humans to support you. Listen carefully to my move. Stop it! That move is... Beato, stay back. I'll take it. Come on, you fake witch. Oh no, the music. After Jessica was injured, Eva was constantly under Battler's supervision. Battler is neither the culprit nor an accomplice. By this, we can establish a perfect alibi for Eva. What? I'll seal you, and humans as well, in a red barrier that most certainly cannot be escaped from. Farewell, lowly humans. Sleep for all eternity in an absolute closed room of magic with no exits. Come on, listen carefully. Listen to the red truth. There are no more than 18 humans on this island. Throw away your foolish thoughts of mysterious people hiding and committing crimes. But if I say it that way, you might also suspect animal culprits. Couldn't stand to hear some irrational theory about how an orangutan trained to commit murder wouldn't count as a human. This is a really fucking funny reference. I don't even remember if the first time I read this I caught this as a reference. This is a reference to a mystery novel. So, I'll change it like this. No life forms other than humans have any connection to this game. That's how it is. Next, I'll explain the situation of all 18 people who exist on these islands. No living things. Inso is dead. Braus is dead. Natsuhi is dead. Hideyoshi is dead. George is dead. Rudolph is dead. Hide is dead. Rose is dead. Maria is dead. Genji is dead. Shannon's dead. Kanon is dead. Goda is dead. Kumasawa is dead. Nanjo is dead. Those 15 are all dead. And Badler is alive. Eva is alive. Jessica is alive. That's everyone. All 18 of them. Which means that when the last victim, Nanjo, died, only 3 people, Badler, Eva, and Jessica, were alive. Right. What did you say? Damn it! You don't mean... Eva was with you the whole time, so committing a crime was impossible for her. Of course, Badler-kun isn't the culprit. He was a fortunate ally for her, and he took the possibility that she was the culprit into account, watching over her actions carefully. No chance existed for her to do anything suspicious. In short, at the time of the crime, only Nanjo and Jessica were in the servant room. And I know what you're thinking. Your next move will be this, right? There's also a chance that Jessica is the culprit. But too bad. I'll slice it up in red before you try. Uchinomiya Jessica has not committed murder. She was not involved with Nanjo's murder. Her eyes were completely covered. It'd be impossible for her to carry out a murder like that. And here's the bonus. Neither Eva nor Father killed Nanjo, nor were they involved. Wait a second, that doesn't make sense. There were only 3 humans. Then a murder occurs and none of those 3 were involved? That's insane. I'll state it clearly. The culprit who killed Nanjo was neither Badler, nor Eva, nor Jessica. In other words, it wasn't one of the survivors. Get it? No. That's right. What about multiple personalities? Just like how you were originally another personality of Fantevas. Let's say Jessica had another witch-like personality, which took the name of someone other than Jessica, and killed Dr. Nanjo. Moron. I've already said it in red. Jessica's eyes were completely covered, and murder was impossible for her. I hope you're taking notes here, bud. Something very important was dropped here. No matter what kind of personality she was possessed by, murder cannot be carried out with her body. I wonder if you'll be satisfied if I say this in this way. No actions caused by Jessica's body had any relation to or influence on the murder of Nanjo. This also applies to Badler and Eva. In other words, no matter how much you try and struggle to interpret it, Neither Jessica nor Butler nor Eva is the culprit who killed Nanjo. You gotta be kidding me! I mean, everyone else is definitely dead, right? Then all that's left is Dr. Nanjo's suicide theory, right? And the trap theory. The culprit was already dead, but a trap that had already been prepared went off. Nanjo's death was a homicide. Of course, it was a direct method of murder, not a trap. Famous theory has been discussed the entire episode. A weapon was ready, and he was killed with it from point-blank range in front of him. The culprit appeared openly before Nanjo's eyes, and as they both looked at each other's faces, the culprit killed him. But wait! There are only 3 survivors. You said in red that everyone else is dead. You basically confirmed the life or death status of all 18 people. Furthermore, the existence of a 19th person has already been denied in red. In other words, no one can exist except the 3 survivors. Yet, the 4th person other than those 3 appeared before Dr. Nanjo. How could a person other than us appear and murder Dr. Nanjo when no 19th person exists? Insane! You're lying. You're lying with the red. The red only tells the truth. Isn't doubting that the same as betraying the honor of the witch was behind you, shriveling up in fear of me and hiding behind your back? Damn it! Right now, I'll state it clearly. The one who appeared in front of Nanjo was me, a witch. The Golden Witch, who can't be explained away with 18 humans. Virgilia! Oh no! Isn't there a contradiction in the situation? Save me! Help! Help! Croax, you need to help Battler. You need to save him. He's going to get stabbed. Is she really telling the truth with Red? Yes. Her red truth is valid. An elaborate and precise cornering. How should I make a move against her? Virgilia! Aren't there any moves? I cannot think of anything. And you don't know? My apologies. However, in these last 1,000 years, I have never seen such an elaborately beautiful game board layout. I hate to admit it, but it's beautiful. What a beautiful checkmate made in red. The witch's teacher and the demon butler were both stunned, and an expression of ecstasy rose to their faces. Forget surrendering. They were impressed with this perfect checkmate, which simply had to be admired. That is a stalemate move, Croax. You're not allowed to make stalemate moves. Sadly. What was it? Oh yeah! One of my favorite things about this part is the web. I really like the visuals of the web. It is such a fucking good visual here. When people accept defeat from the bottom of their heart, it gives rise to neither regrets nor humiliation. Nothing is born except feelings of respect. I no longer knew I was watching her. There was absolutely no weak points in her red. She had said in red that all of the 15 people had died. She had also said in red that no people existed other than the 18. In other words, no more than 3 people, me, Jessica, and Anteva, existed. And even though none of those 3 people were the culprits, Dr. Nanjo was killed. And, without a doubt, Dr. Nanjo's death was homicide. He was murdered by that person openly from in front of him. If she's saying that that person is a witch, the culprit who killed Nanjo was not an animal, or anything of the sort. That has already been dealt with in Red, right? Yeah, correct, she explicitly said, do not try to come up with a trained orangutan. I am not allowing that, and she denies it. Which is a really fucking funny reference. Everything other than humans has been completely removed from consideration. Even things like robots don't work. Absolutely no factors other than humans participated in this game board. Therefore, I can also say this. The one who killed Nanjo was definitely a human. A human with their feet on the ground, held up a weapon and killed with it. Right before his eye. However, the human may have been able to use magic. In other words, it was a witch. In other words, it was me, the Golden Witch Patoriche. Even as Badler ground his teeth, his knees hit the floor with a thump. His soul still refused to surrender. However, his knees had already started to accept surrender. Oh, did you kneel? That's right. Everybody's starting to understand. The Golden Witch does exist. And that Golden Witch, Beatrice, is me. Come on, praise me. Now, praise the resurrection of a true witch. Now, praise the resurrection of the Golden Witch, Beatrice. On the ninth twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. Damn it! I don't understand. After being so thoroughly immobilized by the red, I don't have a clue anymore. This is how Croax was feeling when he was in the final levels of Baba Is You. He'd like, no, this puzzle, they made it wrong. It cannot be solved. It's impossible. The creator is fucking with me. Badler, don't lose heart. You and I promised that we would fight each other again, right? Will you surrender here? Will you disappear in a place like this before fighting with me again? I don't want to break that promise. However, I can't think of any move to deny her. In the first place, this isn't even a puzzle. Nothing exists outside the suspects, and all of the suspects are innocent. I was told that they were innocent in Red, right? And also that it was a real homicide and that the culprit was human. And that they did appear before Dr. Nanjo's eyes and kill him. There's nothing I can do. I give up. Please, Badler, don't give up. Don't lose heart. If you stop thinking, it automatically becomes your loss. I'm begging you, don't lose heart. I'm also cheering you on, so don't lose. I can't think of anything anymore. I find myself thinking she's gonna be a witch. Must have done it with magic, which makes all thinking pointless. It's useless. My head hurts, my brain's tired. I'm starting to think that thinking's pointless, so I should just stop. Badler, listen. In the game of chess, both sides do all they can to make the other lose. So a single game takes a long period of time. However, if one side throws away victory from the beginning and makes moves harmful to themselves, the game can end in the blink of an eye. That is called a fool's mate. A fool's mate is, simply put, a strange way of playing chess in which the fastest methods of losing are considered. Opening the area in front of your own king and inviting the opponent's queen in. Even though the average game time in chess is several hours, a game can be resolved in a scant 4 moves. Steven's sausage roll is awesome. In other words, if both sides try to win in a fight, they are compelled to take a painfully long period of time. But if one side decides to lose, the game can be ended far too easily, at any time. When the human side stops thinking, it hands the problem before its eyes over to the witch. And even an apple falling from a tree can be immediately resolved as the work of magic. It is the same for the witch's side. Witches use the red truth. By using that, they can explain the true form of magic with humans and immediately lose. You don't have to tell me that. You're telling me to stop thinking, right? However, to not stop thinking. How should I counterattack that person's perfect bright red move? For me, for humans, it's no longer possible. Is it impossible? Is it really impossible for you, Battler? Please, don't lose heart. Sorry, I've reached my limit. Battler scratched at the floor, crying heavily. Battle watched that with a distressed face. Then she stood up and spoke to the witch. I will make a move as to counter to yours. Huh? I wonder just how you plan to cut up this perfect checkmate. How can this checkmate, one totally impossible for humans to break, be defeated by the likes of you? Beatrice, you don't mean to... Indeed. If a human cannot make a move, I will assault you with a move I can use precisely because I am a witch. A move you can use because you're a witch? What are you planning to do? I will say in red. I will use a red to deny witches. Beatrice, milady! The teacher and the butler were both startled. I also immediately understood what it meant. To use the red that only witches could use. To use the red to deny witches. It was like using her own sword to slit her own throat. What? Hey, what are you saying? Deny witches with red? Quit talking like an idiot. If you do that, you won't get away unscathed either. You are not a witch. I am not a witch either. The road to becoming a true witch is difficult, and I have much, much farther to go. Very well then. Right here, right now. There have never been any witches in the first place. I will strip this deception away myself. Aren't both of us real, obvious witches? Being able to use red is itself proof of witches. I don't know what the definition of a witch is to you, but if you think that you alone will be able to get away unscathed, then... How could I make such a mistake? I care not. What did you say? I never did manage to become a witch. I've done nothing more than firmly begin walking down the road to becoming a true witch. If what I am right now is a witch, then I'm a false witch like you. One who are merely drunk on power. Rather than existing in that shabby form, I shall erase this form of mine along with you, without any regrets. Are you insane? Stop it! I still want to be a witch. I hate being human. Witch-sama, please return to your seat. Please receive the human-sized canter from your seat. What are you doing? Let go of me! Don't let that woman use the red. Make her stop! Let me go! As the witch stood from her seat and tried to spring upon Beato, Renaud pressed down on both of her shoulders, forcing her back into her seat. And, even after that, he didn't remove his hands from those shoulders. Denying witches was the same thing as denying magic. That included demons such as Renaud. However, instead of running away, Renaud chose to act as a facilitator for the game, and to carry out that duty for his master's sake. Torichi, you have no regrets, right? That's my line. Sorry, teacher. Even though you taught me so much about fun magic and magic that brings happiness, I wasn't able to use it well at all. So I'll study from square one and start over again. I am truly sorry that you had to suffer for your stupid disciples' misconduct. I had a good disciple in the very end. Go, do what you believe in. I don't have a clue what you guys are talking about, but I do understand one thing, and I can say this. Beato, I don't know what you're trying to do, but stop trying to do it. You have no moves, but I have. If we let that move get away, she will be revived as a witch in the truest sense, and this time, she will control this whole island. All nightmares will be hers to do with as she pleases. And this island will fall into the deepest hell of the evil witch's repeating delusions, for all eternity. Can you permit that? Don't you care if your dear relatives are toyed with for all eternity in that witch's nightmare? Still, you shouldn't have to sacrifice yourself. This is a game between me and her. You shouldn't have to make your move and sacrifice yourself. I'll think of something. Surely think of a miraculous move. So don't rush into it. God damn it! I'll definitely think of one, so don't rush into it! This game is cruel. The time limit for your consideration has already run out. I am now the only one who can do it. Calm yourself, Edmure. I'll defeat her. I'll defeat that cruel witch with my own hands. Wait! Beato! Stop it! Quit it! There's absolutely no need for you to sacrifice yourself. Weren't you fighting to deny me? What a strange person. Let that child do as she likes. And please watch her until the end. But... Battler, there is only one thing I ask. Would you cover your ears? My ears? Why? Starting now, I will deny witches in red. I will slice up the game board that she has laid out with her red. By doing that, I will probably lose my form as a witch as well. If you also hear the red truth I speak, you will understand my true form. If you alone cover your ears, that truth will not change at all. However, even so, I want you alone to cover your ears. I at least want to be a witch in your eyes. Please. Beatrice-sama. There are no problems on the witch side. Please, your move. Let go! I won't let her get away with this either, okay? She's insane! Do you plan on dying and taking us with you? Stop it! Don't deny it! Stop it! How unsightly for a golden witch. Okay. Are you ready? I will remove your check in Badler's stead. What happened on the chessboard where 15 died and only 3 remains? Starting now, I will expose it in red. With that direct truth, I will pierce and kill both fake witches. Beato turned around and smiled at Badler. Most likely, no one would believe that the witch who had gone to the limits of cruelty would try to leave a smile as the last expression she showed Badler. And that smile signified her last wish. Not witch. That she wanted him to cover his ears. The 9 witches in red was the same as knowing her shabby form. Badler put both of his hands against his ears to protect her final bit of honor as a witch. He put his hands against his ears, rejecting the truth. And he howled, so not even a bit of what she was saying would slip into his ears. After that was a world where Badler could hear nothing. Beato was saying something in red. Even the evil witch covered her ears at those bitter consonants. That was the red truth. Words of power. Words that denied her own existence. Unique words that only witches could use, which denied witches. Beato spoke. With the red truth, she cut up the bright red game board that the witch had released. She explained difficult problems that could not be solved by humans, with moves that could only be solved by witches, and began cornering the witch. The truth that Badler was not permitted to hear. If Badler had broken his promise and sneakily eavesdropped, in an instant, Badler would probably have been able to become the victor in this game with Beato. He would probably have understood all the riddles on the islands, all of the magic and tricks, closed rooms, spells, curses, legends, and this entire tale of anger and sadness. However, Badler would only learn what that was when he reached the truth by himself. Yes, from the beginning, Beatrice had wished that Badler would reach that truth by himself. It was something one shouldn't reach by being told it. It was a truth that Badler would have to drag himself to it by his own power. A brilliant light gathered with Beato and the evil witch at the center and grew gradually stronger. It was the power of truth. Its seed and brilliance like the sun, shone on all the falsehood that's hidden in the darkness, trying to deceive and burn them to nothing. Why? Why can you die? Why can you throw away your life when you have such incredible power? You hold the power to control gold, magic, and everything at will. Why can you so readily throw that away? Learn that even with a mountain of gold, even with magic to split the sea, there are some things you can never obtain. Come, show yourself. Show your true form. Ushinomiya Eva. When the sun exploded and blew everything away, Eva could be seen there, holding a gun. You're the culprit, Aunt Eva. Took you long enough to notice, Badler-kun. Without any hesitation or mercy, Eva raised her gun and pulled the trigger. As an explosive sound rang out, Badler's heart was shot through, and he fell to the floor. I said this the first time we read through this. That scene where Eva shoots Badler really scared me the first time. The face she does. After going into convulsions for a short time, with blood dripping from his mouth, Badler died. Shot to death by Yoshinomiya Eva inside the mansion. The weapon was a Winchester from Kinso's collection. Jessica had lost her eyesight, alone with Badler. Wolves in sheep puzzle. It's always the wolf in sheep puzzle, but in his last moments, he realized without a doubt that she was the murderer. And not just for killing him. There had been many murders, and I don't have a clue how they were carried out. However, all my ears were covered. Beato exposed all of them with the red, blasting away all magic. In other words, even though I didn't understand it. Was that nothing more or less than proof that magic can all be explained with humans? Beato made me cover my ears, so I myself don't know the whole truth. However, now that it's been denied and read, I can see one fact which is extremely unfair for us. That it is possible to deny all magic. So, in other words, no. I must not think of that. If I do, then the time I spent covering my ears would be made pointless. If I'm going to regret, I can only regret my own actions. If, at that time, I've sought some noob to spin things around and counter the witch's final move, there would have been no need for Battle to sacrifice herself. It was my own worthlessness that brought about this conclusion. Even though it was a pitch black world where nothing could be seen, for some reason, I felt Beto's presence right next to me. So I tried calling out to her. You can exchange words with someone whether they're a human or a witch. So even in a world where witches had been denied, I should be allowed to talk to her. Beato. Battler, is it? It is done. I did it. Yeah. I didn't hear it, but I watched you until the very end. I definitely saw you boldly stand up to that evil witch. With this, I am no longer a witch. But I will definitely become a witch again. And then, I will make it so that I can be called the Golden Witch again. And once again, return so that I can be accepted as your opponents. No. You were a witch. Huh? I saw it. When you took that evil witch and blew her away with that awesome magic, exposing her true form. I saw it with my own eyes. That wasn't magic, but the red... No. It was magic. You are definitely the Golden Witch. Even if you deny it yourself, I'll acknowledge it. You are definitely the Golden Witch. Madler said those words. In the world that had been dark, there was suddenly a single grain. A small grain of gold, like a wheat seed, shone brightly. And even though it was small, it had a strong gold-colored sparkle. Then, it shone on the two of them, sitting with their backs together. So they each became aware of their own form. They did not exist only as consciousness. They became aware that they had bodies and definitely existed. No, perhaps we should say that they each had been given an existence called a body. When Battler looked at his own form, he wasn't that surprised. But when Battler looked at her own form, she was a little startled. From Battler's perspective, she looked just like normal, but for a short while she was surprised by that form. What is going on? The sparkle from that grain of light is slowly getting stronger. That grain of wheat was no longer simply gold color, but was like the light of the sun. Then it softly began to approach Beata's chest. When the grain of the sun was sucked inside her chest, the world was wrapped in a deep blue sky, and then a deep blue ocean was spread out below them. Whoa! An island rose up, trees sprouted and created a forest, walls surrounded us, and a ceiling swallowed us. It was adorned with more and more things, made to be like the hall in the Yoshinomiya mansion. In the middle of the fantastical hall where many gold butterflies beat their wings. Many tables were set up with white tablecloths like it was a party. And beautiful cooking and fruits were set out. And over there were a great many shapes. It was everyone talking together and smiling. Everyone. There was Dad and Kiria-san, Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsuki and Aunt Rosa, and of course, even Aunt Teba and Uncle Hideyoshi. George Aniki, Jessica, Maria. Wait, even Shannon-chan, Kanon Kungoda-san and Kumasawa-san are here. Everyone was at the party, clapping their hands and celebrating our return. Yay! Why? Even though everyone was dead, why are they alive? In the Golden Lands, souls of all the dead can be revived. Welcome back, Dr. Teacher. And welcome, Badler-kun. Welcome to the Golden Lands. I made it? I made it. To the door of the Golden Lands? Yes. Lady, you have finally managed to invite everyone here. Welcome, Battler-sama, to the Golden Lands. Battler. So, you finally made it this far. Grandfather? Where in the world am I? My blood, which is incompatible with magic, runs most deeply in your veins. Therefore, you are the only one who could not reach the Golden Lands, and Beatrice has been searching out for you this whole time. Okay, Croax, I need you to do me a huge favor. A huge, big solid. Just this once. Just this once. So, tonight, I am going to play Dot Hack. Probably like 20 minutes from now. I want you to look away from the stream, mute it, and don't come back until you see Dot Hack. Because you really, really don't want to spoil this part for yourself. This part is really important not to be spoiled. She tried everything to bring you here. What did you say? The opposite, do not pay attention, that's right. Oh, don't worry about it. I can't even tell you. That's how important it is. I cannot tell you what's being spoiled. It's so important that you don't watch this part.
Butler-sama, if you would take your seat. Tonight's dinner is my very best work. If you would, please relish it.
You should be honored. Normally I would have eaten all of it, but I love you some out of gratitude. That must have been a shock for anybody who's watching the VOD, and is only watching in VODs. Yep. That's probably the very first instance of British Beelzebub in the VODs. 7 steaks Nechans? In the Golden Lands, all of those with minds are equal. Here there are no distinctions between us furniture, humans, and witches. British jump scare. Adler-sama, we were waiting for you. Welcome to the Golden Lands. Shannon-chan, George Aniki!
Still feel like this might be a dream. We should have died. But I'm alive. And everyone is here. And happy. Can't believe it.
That's right. This place must be a dream world. It must be a dream that George is acting so friendly with a maid girl. Ah. Could you give it a rest, Taylor? For now, look, you just gotta stay quiet and bless the 2 young'uns. The Golden Land is a city of bliss. We should never quarrel here. Here, any people are free to love each other. No one needs to be hesitate over it. Jessica-chan, Kanon-kun, you look so wonderful. I'm jealous. Hey, Battler, I'm a little, Adler-san, welcome, and welcome home. Jessica was probably embarrassed because she was holding hands with Kanon-kun. Kanon-kun wanted to act humbly like a servant can bow. But since neither of them could let go of the other's hands, he couldn't do it so well, and the whole scene looked fairly comical. With a servant child? You can't! Jessica cannot do such a thing! It's hardly a big deal, correct? Let her at least choose the person she likes. She can't! Oh, Jessica! You can't either, George! Don Natsuki and Anteva hugged each other. They cried tears of regret for their adorable children. Even though they had always been at odds. It was a very bizarre scene. It isn't really a problem, right? It doesn't matter who likes who. That's right. It's proof that a parent's too attached to their child.
Battler, no matter what kind of woman you bring home, I'll give her a warm welcome, okay?
Don't you dare introduce her to this man, okay? He'll get his hands on her immediately. They'll run off together right away. Battler, you finally came here. Maria, from the very beginning, you knew we'd be coming here? Oh, that's why I wasn't scared at all. Everyone was being a coward and trembling. It was funny. What the hell? Even though I thought you were the most screwed up, you actually knew the truth from the beginning. How rude! I simply cannot forgive you for speaking of Lady Maria in that way. Formulating firing curve. Attack preparations ready. Lady Maria, we can attack at any time. Me. Ow.
Be quiet. You are in the presence of Beatrice-san.
Come now. No need to be so stiff. Let's be considerate of their desire to joke around and have fun. More importantly, why don't we begin preparing for the toast?
Yes, preparations for my excellent mackerel cooking are complete. I can serve it at any time. Hey, you people, work a little more like furniture.
No! I'm gonna stuff myself some more! Come on. Let's work. Don't keep the guests waiting. Let's work studiously and attempt to them. Don't let the guests do anything. Make them lazy. Make them slothful. Fatten them like pigs.
Beatrice, Father, this way.
Grandfather and Virgilio were standing on the landing at the top of the staircase, beckoning to us. Beato and I turned our heads to see what was going on. They climbed the stairs together. From the hall, it looked like a very high stage. A small table had been set up there, as well as a piece of parpets and an old-fashioned quilt pen. I saw that strange magical characters in Japanese were written side by side. And below it, many names were written. There were 17 of them. Grandfather was the first, and everyone's names had been signed all over it. The people who arrived at the Golden Land probably signed this one after another. Oh, it's like in the credits! Father, now that you are here, everyone is gathered. Listen carefully.
Golden Land is not a world supported by the power of magic alone. The cooperation and approval of all humans who receive happiness here is required. For that sake, we must gather the signatures of everyone here.
Last time, the door to the Golden Land was finally opened, but you refused to sign. Although you probably don't remember it, because you refused to sign, this world was once again sealed in darkness. Just hearing it like that, it kind of sounds like I'm the only stubborn one. And that I've been a bother to everyone in various ways. That's because your stubbornness is the real deal. It seems you received more than just blood from Kimso. Beato laughed amiably. Amiably? I should have felt like she was making fun of me, but without thinking, I went along with her, laughing and smiling. Magic is a miracle. Miracles cannot be made complete unless everyone believed. And, when you believed in the end, this miracle, the Golden Lands, was complete. Looks like I've been a real pain. So, what should I do?
First, signed here. Then, Beatrice, you signed here.
Quill pens are pretty hard to use, huh? Oh, it's shot! You klutz.
Shooting ink is a bad omen.
Can't you at least write your name quickly? Your pen's wriggling all over the place like a worm. You should talk. Don't write it in katakana. Beatrice is a stylish name, so write it in cursive. You're making the quill in your name cry. Shut up! In school, didn't they tell you not to use cursive on tests? Hey, this is a solemn ceremony. Be silent.
Very well. We have gathered the 2 signatures, as well as the form for the covenant. Both of you, your oath please. We'll start with Beatrice. Put your hand on the covenant and take the oath. As a good witch, Beatrice swears to continue her studies from this point forth to bring happiness to the people. Say it.
Indeed. It's a little embarrassing. As a good witch, Beatrice swears to continue her studies from this point forth to bring happiness to the people. Will that do? Acceptable. Father is next.
In the same way, Father Kun, put your hand on the covenant and take the oath. As a member of the Golden Lands, Yoshinomiya Badler swears to serve for the sake of his own happiness, and that of his neighbor.
I'm surprised it's such a happy ending. Yeah, right? As a member of the Golden Land, Yoshinomiya Badler swears to serve for the sake of his own happiness and that of his neighbor. I'm embarrassed too. Listen everyone, here and now we have gathered the oaths of all 18 humans to accept the Golden Land. When Kyuso proclaimed that, everyone applauded at once, praising us. Since I had been the only stubborn one and had just been a pain, I felt a little bad about being the most celebrated one.
And with that, in accordance with the ancient rites, we ask Badler, the last to make the oath, to sign the invitation to the Golden Land. This is something that invites the Golden Witch, Beatrice, to the Golden Lands. The Golden Land welcomes the Golden Witch to a consensus of those who have acknowledged it, and becomes complete. Badler, I will read it out loud. Listen carefully. The 18 of us accept Beatrice as the Golden Witch and welcome her to the Golden Lands. What's going on with you? You won't be invited unless I send an invitation? That does seem to be the ceremony. It feels stiff even to me. Why don't we end it quickly? I've been so hungry for a while now. Come to think of it, I've only been pecking at canned food and haven't eaten anything good. Let's quickly finish the signing. What's this? I acknowledge you as a witch. Huh? Pretty simple. Damn, your grandfather exaggerated it so much. Come on. Come on, quickly. Sign. Right here. Huh? Quickly. Sign. With slightly weird and uncomfortable smiles, the two of them started demanding that I sign. At that time, an incredible sound like that of a glass window breaking reverberated through the wall, and the bustling tumult faded back into complete silence. I dropped the quill pen and turned around, trying to see what had happened. What the? Who's this? When I did, where'd she come from? A human who clearly hadn't been there a short while ago was in the very center of the hall, looking up at us. Who's that? A girl? She's probably about the same age as Jessica and me. But I didn't know that face. None of the other people here knew that face either. Who are you? Who is this? Where did you come from? Those without invitations are not needed at my party. Servants, kick her out. As you command. Surround her. The 7 Sisters of Purgatory surrounded her from 7 directions, taking out magic blades that drew purple curves and blocking her. And from out of nowhere, shuffling goat-headed servants appeared in great numbers surrounding that girl. And on top of that, the Chester sisters stood in front of Beato like a wall, readying a golden bow and pulling back the bowstring. I keep calling it bow instead of bow. But the girl didn't even move at all. On the contrary, she was still staring at us on the landing, as though she didn't mind at all. What's she looking at? Beato? Grandfather? Could be me? Yes. The girl was staring straight into my eyes, glaring. Then, after our eyes met perfectly, she yells. You mustn't sign that. Are you going to accept your own defeat? Don't be tricked by the witch. Huh? By the witch? Huh? That time, something incredibly strong lifted me by the nape of my neck. What's going on? As her mean mates turned around behind me, I saw Virgilia, with an eerie smile on her face and the muscular forms of gold monsters. A gold monster that looked about 2 meters tall was grabbing me with my arms as thick as a log. There is no need to listen to an uninvited guest. Come, have your signature as well. On this written note, Ushinomiya Badler acknowledges the existence of witches. Come now, find the written note. Oh, ow! Damn it, let go! As the gold monsters held me down with the power of the vise, they forced me to grab the quill pen. I couldn't even touch the floor with my feet, much less resist. Badler, why are you resisting? Aren't you just about to sign willingly? Don't change your mind now after all that, okay? Didn't you think for an instant that it might be okay to acknowledge witches? You thought that, right? I was tricked? insane. Beto isn't that kind of...
Sorry, Battler. I am that kind of person. Ah, it's useless now. It looks like sentimental sob stories don't suit me. Teacher, I'm counting on you to use all your strength. That was such a plain role to play, and I got so bored. I don't know who you are, girl, but I'll beat you to death. Smash you and crush you until threads start trailing, okay? I'll make you regret being born a woman. As Beto waved her gold pipe. A massive chandelier hanging in the wall was electrocuted, and from that, a terrible purple thunderbolt fell. Should have been a direct hit on the girl right below it, turning her to ash. However, not a single hair was singed. Oh? So, your sudden appearance here wasn't just a fluke. Tell me, state your name. I don't have a name to give you. More important, you idiot. How long are you going to be tricked? You softy. Figure it out already. This is all the witch's trap. Those words are aimed at me. This is all witch's trap, she says? It can't be. That reform swore to become a good witch. Beto, this is about traps. A lie, right? Please, tell me it's a lie. Sorry, Battler. It was pretty fun. Sure, I just did what teacher told me. But look how great it turned out. Apparently, if you start out all hostile and needlessly brutal, and turn incompetent and soft at just the right moment, you can spark a huge bump on your affection meter, right? I've heard villains who start all lovey-dovey and then freak the shit out are all the rage these days, right? Even I've studied a bunch of those manga, anime, and galgate that have been so popular lately, you see. And for that, just as expected, it was tears please, and you're down. Idiot. What a truly simple person. I'll call this the North Wind and Sun strategy. That's not... Damn you bastard. How could you trick me? Yes, that expression suits you the most. That caring expression of yours really doesn't suit me after all. It made my back itch. I was frantically trying to not let it get to me. Too bad. Witches never reform. You take care of the signature, teacher. This uninvited guest is my prey. Come. You can no longer refuse to sign. Come on, look. Sign it enough for your body, mind, and your soul. And Regila lifted her chin as a signal. The gold monsters with an even more vice-like power. Forced my arm to approach the parchments. Oh, these guys are trying to make me sign even if it breaks my arm. Then, a bright red light burst open with me at the center, knocking the witches and gold monsters away. That girl saved me? But who in the world is that? I don't have a clue. How long do you plan to keep playing in a place like this? Give it a rest. I'm jealous of you. I'm glad you saved me, but that's a pretty cool way to say it. Sorry, but who are you? Witch of Okenjima. Give him back. Who would do that, you fool? Battler is my toy. My most favorite toy in the world. I won't get tired of him. I won't throw him away, and I won't hand him over to anyone. Even Battler is enjoying this to the fullest. Together with me, he is having so much fun playing. No matter who you are, I won't let you get in the way. Yeah, it looks like you're having a lot of fun. Makes me so jealous it ticks me off. Here you are in a place like this, guffawing and having a loud, noisy time with everyone. With all these beautiful witches around to pamper you. You must be having so much fun that you don't even want to go back. Are you talking to me? Wait, you got the wrong idea. This is a pain for me too. What do you mean fun? You don't know what I've been through. What you've been through? You have fun living with mom and dad, you playing around with all of the cousins. And you get to play with these wacky witches for all eternity. Don't you recognize the happiness you have? Do you see how jealous I am of you all? So much that I wish I could join in too. I'm sorry, but I'll have to turn you down here. I'm satisfied with the toy I have. A rude toy like you is not fitting for my toy box. Yes, I understand. Who would ever play with someone like you? But I will thank you just a little for letting me meet everyone like this. Who are you? You couldn't be. I see. Is that it? Yes. I understand. I know who you are. I see. So you are the piece Lady Castell threw in. How amusing. Why don't I formally invite you to my party? I'll welcome you fully. Along with Battler, I'll play nicely, break you, kill you, crush you, turn you to ash, mix you with bread dough, and bake you until you're fluffy. It's useless. It's all useless. You can't do that. On the Rokkenjima of 1986, I'll expose everything that happened to the light of day. I'll show you that before the truth. You're like an icicle scared of the coming spring. Prepare yourself, Golden Witch. Beatorice. And that's it. He said it. No, wait, that's Battler's line. Who even was that? We didn't figure it out. Maybe next time. Well, guys, that's it. That's it. We've now re-streamed all Eva Returned Alive. Check that out. We've now restreamed all of the bots that we lost. Episode 4, 5, and 6 are complete. We don't need to re-record anything. And we also don't need to do the tea parties for this one because these are safe as well. I made the tea parties in a different stream, so they're safe. A single puzzle in Stephen's sausage roll. Yep, that's all of the goats, you're right. No, wait, Lambda Delta is also a goat. And Brink Castell, sure. And so the Golden Land once again crumbled into dark. However, Victor finally appeared in the game as the Golden Witch. Victor is the new Golden Witch of Ep3. What's was all the real the Golden Witch was off. The 17 all died with the Seagull's Pride. There was nothing but one survivor. Also, sorry, I missed it. But hopefully you noticed. Hopefully you noticed. There was a mysterious name in the credits. I forgot to mention it because it went past me, but there is a mysterious name in the credits. I hope you caught it. Somebody who was not there before appeared in the credits. And we unlocked the tea parties. We had already done that. We got those already recorded. We need to do them again. We're done. It's over. We did it. The curse is lifted. As long as I don't lose this bot. The curse is lifted. No more re-recordings of old episodes. Wahoo! I can't believe the 2 times that it happened, it was the 2 longest streams. Literally the 2 longest streams that I've done of Umineko were the ones that got lost. Okay. So that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching. I'm now going to stop the stream and switch over to the other thing. We need to beat Skeeth. We need to kill Skeeth. So I'll see you in a bit.